How's it going? In the previous video we talked about the 3 steps to creating a winner's mindset, and in this video what I want to do is to talk about how you can achieve absolutely anything you put your mind to. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about in this little video. Thank you very much for watching the video before. My name is Craig Williams, one of the co-founders of Team Bootcamp, where we coach hundreds of people just like you to be better, to think, eat and move better with the aim of increasing their health and being fitter and just being better all around. So we're going to go straight into this today's teaching then, and basically this 3-step process that we talk about, which I call the 3 M's. And the 3 M's are made up of, 3 sort of pivots or 3 points of a triangle, okay? And if we take one side away, similar to the heat triangle, then fire will just not exist. And if we take one of these away, then the theory goes that the whole of success would not exist. All right, so basically it would start at the top where it says measure. Okay, so we start off, and if we set our mind anything, the example we're going to use is trying to lose weight, okay, or coming to boot camp and trying to lose weight rapidly. So you start off and you measure yourself. So remember, we need to know sort of where we are and where we want to be. So if we start off and we measure ourselves, well, if we can measure it, we can improve it, all right? So, and this works not just in weight loss, but in anything at all that you want to achieve. Moving down the line then to the next corner of the triangle, obviously we need to monitor what's going on, and we need to be really honest with this. We need to be honest with our measurements, and we need to be really honest with our monitoring, because if we're not, we're kind of wasting our time. And the 12-step process of beating addiction, the first part of that is just being honest, and no change really happens without honesty. So you've got to be honest throughout. All right, so we've got to monitor what's going on. I'm going to talk about a couple of things you can use to monitor stuff. And then finally, the next one is you modify what you're actually doing there. Okay, so that relies on maintaining a program or sticking to a regime. And if you can measure it, monitor it, stick to the regime, then you've got the ability to modify it, to make the changes that you want to change. So you're constantly moving forward. Now, that in theory is relatively easy. In practice, it's much tougher, and you need to combine these principles with the creating the winner's mindset principles. Okay, so let's have a look at a couple of things you can do with regards to measure. Well, first of all, like I said, you've got to be honest. It's no point sort of measuring things and go, I'll just like knock a couple of centimeters off there, or I'm not going to get on the scales, or pretend I've been on the scales, or whatever it is. Okay, you really must be honest. You've also got to be accurate, because if there is any kind of inaccuracies in your measurements or what have you, obviously it's going to affect the way that you progress or the way that you monitor your progression, because you're not starting from a fixed place. You're starting sort of pretty much anywhere, just like a swag, stupid wild ass guess. All right, so it's really got to be quite accurate, whatever you're going to do, and then it's got to be consistent. So the obvious example we're using, with weight loss. Too many people sort of measure themselves different times throughout the day, different days throughout the week and all that kind of stuff. And what we kind of suggest, if you're going to weigh yourself at home, is that you weigh yourself first thing every Monday morning, as soon as you get out of the bed. So you get out of bed, go to the toilet, have a little wee or whatever, get on the scales, okay, and that is by far best, the best time to be measuring stuff, because it's consistent, it's going to be as accurate as you can get it, and it's as long as you record it well, it's going to be pretty honest. The next part then is obviously the monitoring. So a couple of different ways that you can do this. One of the most powerful is just having an accountability partner. Now obviously we offer accountability sort of service or support and what have you in the virtual bootcamp, which if you've not checked out, make sure you head over and check that out at team-bootcamp.net. And there's a little private Facebook group there where we have accountability sessions and stuff like that. But you can just get a friend or a colleague or whatever just to hold you accountable and to make sure that you're being honest and constantly moving forward. After that, diaries are very good for monitoring what's going on. You can control what's happening in your regime. Capturing a little diary, whether it's a video, whether it's a written diary or a like a little audio diary or whatever. And then obviously video. So many people now are turning to short blogs or vlogs as they call it, where they're just capturing a little video at the end of the day and then sharing that. And actually, that's can actually be quite a motivating thing as well. So that's your measure and your monitor. The final one then is the modify, and the only thing to talk about here is that like we said before, a lot of people think that getting fitter or leaner or improving their image is an event that just happens overnight, and it's not. It really is about just turning the dial every day, just turning it a little bit and just getting it a little bit smarter every day, just rounding off the edges, dotting the T's, crossing the I's, or well, the other way, dotting the I's, crossing the T's and all that kind of stuff. And you're constantly turning this dial towards progression, okay? Not towards perfection, because perfection rarely exists. It's, you know, it's constantly like striving for that progression and just keep moving forward. So that's 3 simple processes there. In the next video, I've got a really sort of quite exciting interview with Phil Quirk, who is, like I've mentioned before, you know, has coached more high-level entrepreneurs, high-level learners, you know, professional elite-level athletes than anyone else I know, and has got a pretty unique insight into just being better and to create this winning mindset. Some of the mind hacks and strategies he's got are just phenomenal, and every time I deal with him, every time I chat to him, or we have one of our mentor sessions or whatever, I just feel completely charged. Same with Phil Kelly, his partner in crime, you know, absolutely phenomenal. So you can, in the next video that I send through, you'll be able to sit in on this interview and just get all his very best knowledge straight from him. So until the next video, take care.